this topic on phlegm, this is something that I've been working on for quite a long time. It was my dissertation, which I started researching it in 2011. So it's been quite a long time since then. And the topic is so large and so sprawling that I'm still nowhere nearly finished it. I'm still working on it. I'm sort of in the middle of the timeline of what I want to research. And I've also been working on other projects, but it's taken me a long time to understand what's going on, and I'm still working on it. So today is going to be an overview of this work that I've done over the last 10 years. So I'll share my screen with you. And can you all hear me all right? Yes. Okay. So as you probably all have heard before, this phrase, all illness comes from phlegm. It's something that is that's heard a lot today, said a lot today. I think it's a very uncontroversial thing to say that phlegm is a very, very, very important illness concept in contemporary Chinese medicine. So the interesting thing about phlegm is that when we do follow up with it and go back to the early classics, such as the classic of the Yellow Emperor, then we find that the term phlegm is actually not there. So this is the term that is now so ubiquitous and everywhere. It's really not there. So my research is about following the history of the appearance of phlegm and tracing how it becomes an important concept in the history of Chinese medicine. And so for me, as a historian, I use the concept of phlegm to research changes in Chinese medical theory and also in the larger history of the body and in Chinese culture. So I think about why these changes took place. And within that, so in my research, I found out that the history of phlegm is connected both to Indian medical system and also to Greek and Islamic medical traditions. And by way of realizing that, I began developing, and that's what I'm doing right now, the argument that phlegm is global history, and that phlegm is a really, really important, phlegm and fluids and humors more general are really, really important concepts that tie the history of different medical traditions together. And by way of that, or my way of doing that, is also a comparative history. So I compare how phlegm works in Chinese medicine and how it works in Ayurveda and how it works in the Galenic tradition. And I'm really interested in the concepts of phlegm. So my work is not so much social history, but it's really, I'm really interested in the concept of what phlegm is doing in Chinese medicine. So in a way, one really important thing that came out with my research, or comes out with my research, that phlegm really is not phlegm. So what do I mean with that is a bit puzzling, but it will become clear as I go along. So phlegm really is really not one thing, but it changes along during the ages, and we can understand it much better if we parse the different periods of when phlegm is what. And I think so. I mean, we can talk about this later in the question section. I think this is really where my work potentially could connect with clinicians, because it could help understand why phlegm nowadays has so many different meanings, and why can it be hot and cold and so many different things at the same time. And I think that understanding when historically phlegm was what, and how this is kind of an accrual, how now phlegm combines so many different concepts that could help us understand the concept much better.